Hey everybody, welcome to the Sicilian Corner. My name is Mike, and behind the glass and making and pushing all the right buttons, hopefully, is cousin Lou. Lou, how are you?
It happens occasionally. Did I get them all right?
You know something, you're learning.
Yep, I'm learning.
I figure another 24, 25 years, you should have it pretty well knocked. How was your week?
Very good. How about you?
You know, something pretty good. Last Sunday, took a ride with Barbara down to the North Shore Music Theater.
That's right.
They had an Elvis show they were doing that got pretty good reviews. The Globe loved it. I love going to that theater. I think it's a compliment to the area. Plenty of free parking. Oh, there's plenty of parking. They do have a reserved area. You can pay to park there. But
I hear a butt coming. Yeah, I heard a butt coming.
The size of the theater, I believe it's like 1,500 seats. As you know, it's in the round.
Yep.
There isn't a bad seat in the place.
Right.
If you're 25 rows back to the back wall, you got the best view of the place. Is gorgeous.
Yep.
And I think that in a theater format, I think 12, 14, 1,500 seats, you could do well with that.
Mm-hmm.
That's the honey spot, I think.
Yep.
In my opinion. But I thought the show.
I was going to say, how was the show?
It was okay.
Yeah.
It was okay. It was an Elvis show.
Did he do Fat Elvis or did he do?
No, it was basically his whole history. The bit about his mother when she passed away. I mean, there were many pluses, but there were a few things that if I had input in it, I would have done a little bit different. But the seats were great. I enjoyed it. It was a nice Sunday afternoon. Traffic wasn't bad.
Yep. And
Barbara enjoyed it. It was good. I'm going to let it go with that. Not phenomenal, not exceptional.
Yep.
But good. And then what else? Oh, Tuesday, on a spur of the moment, we decided to take a ride down to Encore, and we ended up spending the night there, which turned out to be a very nice time. They're opening up a fish restaurant finally.
Okay.
It's going to go as soon as you walk in the entrance where the valet is on the left-hand side. It used to be where their signature restaurant, Sinatra's, used to be.
Right.
And I hated to see that restaurant go. They closed it for COVID, never reopened. What a beautiful, beautiful spot. But it's going to be a seafood restaurant going in there. It's going to be on the upper end.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be like compatible to their Rare, the steakhouse.
Yep.
So I'm excited, but it's not going to happen till like the middle of April.
I was going to say it's going to be a while.
I have no idea because it's retrofitted. It's ready to go. They even got the tables out. I mean, the tables are all in place
already. Yep.
I don't know why they're waiting until April, but anyway, so it was a good week. It was a nice week.
Excellent.
We have a special guest with us today that I have known courtesy of the St. Alfio Society. And he's, in my opinion, knows more about the history of Lawrence than anybody that I know. And this young man sitting next to me is Professor Richard Padova. Richard, welcome to the Sicilian Corner. You've been on with us once before,
yes,
a zillion and a half years ago.
Yes, correct.
Way back when. Way back when.
Yes.
And I want to thank you very much for taking the time out to join us. Why don't you tell our Sicilian Corner listeners a little something about yourself, your background, and what you do, and we'll go from there.
Okay. All right. Well, I've been in the teaching field my whole career. Currently a professor at Northern Essex Community College, where I teach history and government, and
government too?
And government as well. Yes. So lots to talk about. Yes. And during the summer, I work at Lawrence Heritage State Park. I'm the tour interpreter there, or the tour guide. From the middle of May through Labor Day. And I give thematic walking tours of downtown Lawrence, as well as museum tours in the visitor center. And then also on Saturday mornings, I give narrated boat tours on the Merrimack River. And so not only are all of my tours fun and educational, but perhaps the best part is they're free. So
That's like not even working. I mean,
Right.
you enjoy it so
Right.
much.
Right.
And,
Right.
and I know
Right.
that because
Right.
I've talked to you enough. You
Right.
you do it from the heart.
Yes.
And there's a special place. Did you grow up in Lawrence?
I was gonna
yes,
say,
so,
where are you from and where do you live now?
Sure. Yes. Right. I grew up on Prospect Hill in Lawrence, near the Lorenz Playstead, where the Potham School is now located, Thornton Street, and went to the public schools, K-8, and then Central Catholic High School, and then went to college to get my credentials to become a teacher, then a guidance counselor, and then a professor now. So currently, my wife and I live in Andover, where she grew up, and we like it very much there. So I'm involved in the Lawrence History Center, the Andover Center for History and Culture, the Friends of the History Center, the Friends of Lawrence Heritage State Park, the Friends of Memorial Hall Library.
How about your spare time? What do you do?
So,
Is he allowed to be with you, Mikey, seeing you get thrown out of Central? Can he be here?
Son, I wish I would have graduated from Central, to be honest with you. I liked it. I liked the school. I didn't want to go there at first, but once I was there, I don't know if you know, but I did go to Central.
No, I didn't know that. No,
Yeah, for a
no.
year and a half.
He was thrown out.
And we parted ways.
It's a mutual parting of the way.
But good school.
Yes.
Good school. It's
Yes.
amazing what's going on there. And
Mhm.
I think when I was there, it was probably 1960 when I started,
Mhm.
59, 60. It was $265 a semester.
Wow.
Mm.
265.
Can't even
I mean,
get the
that
meal
was it.
plan. for
Now it's
265
probably
now.
what, 15 grand maybe?
I think so. At least I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Mm.
But boy, I'll tell you, they were all brothers, and there was only one or two lay people that worked there, and one was Mr. Moynihan, our football coach, and he also taught a class.
Mhm.
And what a nice man. But I know there's an big age difference between you and me, but some of the brothers, like Brother Albert, I don't know if you remember him, Brother Linus.
Linus, yes, he was a substitute when I was there.
Okay, because he
Yeah.
must have been getting on in years.
Yes, he was.
He
yeah,
was our
yeah.
freshman football coach.
Okay.
Mm. Oh wow.
And he used to yell at me and say, Michael, don't hit so hard. Okay, coach. Oh, that's what he used to tell.
Oh.
We used to play in a place that the thing used to flood every spring.
Oh yeah.
Mud, you have no idea, because they didn't have a place to play. So we used to have to go down to the place that, and that's where we scrimmage.
Yeah, the Hayden
And-
Schofield.
Yeah,
Place
Hayden
that.
Schofield.
You
Yeah,
need
yeah.
to kill your
Yeah.
phone, Mikey.
But
That
I'm
was killing me.
it's wonderful that your love of history, in particular the history of the city of Lawrence.
Mm.
Mikey,
yeah.
kill your phone.
I'm sorry,
Kill your phone. That owl is it's killing me.
the phone's
Phone's
killing
going-
you.
phone's
Can you
going
hear
off.
that?
I can, yes.
All right.
Richard, what area of history do you teach? at Northern Essex?
Everything, Lou.
Yeah.
Everything. So I teach local history, history of the Merrimack Valley,
Mhm.
as well as United States history and world history.
Yeah.
So right now, this semester, I'm teaching U.S. history.
Okay.
So as well as American government and politics. So, but yeah,
Are you concentrating on a particular area, or do you try to get through the whole 270 odd years? or whatever
yeah,
it is?
no, it's college, so we move pretty fast,
Yep.
So in my U.S. History 1 classes right now, so I started the pre-colonial era. Right now, we're working our way closer to the start of the Civil War, and then when the fall semester ends on December 12th, then I end it at the Civil War. There, the conclusion of the Civil War, and then for example, U.S. History 2, then that picks up with Reconstruction after and works up to the present time.
Hmm.
So,
You're getting a comment here on our chat line from David Struffolino.
Mhm.
I went on one of Rich's river tours 2
Oh.
summers ago. It was really fun
oh,
and great to be reminded about the area's history. I had forgotten about it and learned new things.
well, thank you, David.
Yeah.
I'm sorry I don't recognize your name, but thank you for remembering my summer boat tour a couple of summers ago.
Whose boat do you use?
Okay, it's all right. It belongs to the Department of Conservation and
Okay.
Recreation. Okay,
Okay.
that runs Lawrence Heritage State Park, but it's housed at the Bashara Boathouse
Okay.
in South Lawrence, kind of a
Sure.
joint
At the
ownership.
Bishop's,
Right, Abe
yeah.
Bashara.
Abe
Right,
Bashara.
right, exactly. You know, so we have a joint partnership program there with the Bashara Boathouse. So during the summer, July and August, on Saturday mornings, you have to make reservations. We take people out on a boat, a 2-hour boat cruise. We have a captain, and then I'm the narrator.
Like Gilligan Island.
Like Gilligan's Island, right? Only we don't get grounded though.
Yep.
And then I talk about Native American history in the local area, about the history of
No
the Merrimack
kidding.
River.
I didn't know any of this.
Yes.
I've been out with Rocky Morrison.
Oh yeah, my friend Rocky. Yes,
He's going to be
Yep.
on with us, I believe,
Yep.
the third week in December.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah, what a job that guy does.
Yes, he does something like I do. Yes.
We're
Yeah,
gonna
it's
get
a
into
lo-
we're gonna get into bread and roses, but what's your favorite Merrimack Valley history story?
Oh boy, it's hard to really narrow it down.
Yeah.
Oh boy. I don't know. I guess just just the whole immigration story, which is what I tell during the summer on my tours. Just how Lawrence, everybody, Lawrence was everybody's destination there, right? In the mid 1800s and then onward, and then just how the whole face of demographics changed over the years, the different waves of immigration that not only Lawrence but other places went through as well, and just how that whole process played out, the people behind it, the faces behind it, the events behind it, the different situations that came about because of it. So just the whole immigration story.
How did Lawrence become the focal point of immigration? The mills and jobs?
Well,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Right. And it all started with the Irish, okay, because at the same time Lawrence was being developed, the Irish famine was occurring. So kind of, oh, wow,
Yeah.
two forces coming together, but it worked out for the Irish, and it worked out for Lawrence, right? It brought the two of them together, and then the rest, as they say, is history. So,
absolutely.
Mm.
Lawrence has always been referred to as a planned city.
Mhm.
Would you like to elaborate on that?
Sure. Yes. Lawrence is one of several planned industrial cities that came about during the 1800s. Basically, a city that was created in order to turn it into something productive. Okay. So, like in the case of Waltham, Lowell, Lawrence. Okay, to create a manufacturing center that would provide jobs and housing and opportunities for people, where perhaps they would not find in other cities that were not planned and that were
That was
not
the draw.
industrial.
That was the draw.
That was the draw, right? Right.
And the dam, when there was a falls there prior to the big dam being built,
Yes,
correct?
nearby Bodwell's Falls.
Baldwell. Okay.
Yes.
I told Louis, I mentioned it on the air before, after the falls was developed and before they came in with the electrical company now that generates electricity,
Yes, Patriot.
we had access from South Lawrence.
Mm-hmm.
There was an opening that you could actually walk on a ledge underneath the falls to go from South Lawrence to North Lawrence.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
Extremely slippery
I imagine.
and a very stupid thing to do.
Yes, indeed.
But that being said, we had to do it.
Yeah.
We had to do it. But it was so cool. The noise
Oh, yeah.
from the water coming off.
I'm sure.
And if you slip, bye-bye.
Yeah.
You'd be
Mhm,
you'd be
mhm.
down in Plum Island. Yeah, I mean, it was crazy.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
the falls, there was a lot of firsts that took place. I believe it was the use of the first place that they used hydraulic cement.
Correct. Yes.
Correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Correct. Right. Very good.
And once they did that, then they had the canals they put on the north side first,
Mhm, right.
and that was able to get smaller facilities, smaller
Mhm,
plants to
mhm.
build
Mhm,
along there.
yes.
They did the same thing in South Lawrence, and it's a damn shame the way those canals have been let go.
Oh, I know. I
know there's a lot of controversy about it right
yes,
now,
Yes.
but
Mhm.
Jeepers Creepers, that could be an absolutely Fantastic draw.
Mm-hmm.
Picture that,
Mhm.
clean,
Mm-hmm.
trees on both sides.
Yep,
I mean,
yep,
walkways,
Boats, maybe.
vendors out there on Sundays.
Mm-hmm. Yep, like Lowell, similar to what Lowell with the boats on the canal,
Lawrence is a poor Lowell, is what it amounted to. And a lot of it has to do, and I've said this before in the year, I actually got picked on a little bit for it. But because of some of the politicians that grew up in Lowell, that really had a lot of juice.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
A lot of government money was focused toward Lowell.
Yes.
Lowell is no better than the city of Lawrence. Lawrence is no better than Lowell. They're both industrial cities.
Mm-hmm.
Lawrence learned by watching what happened in Lowell.
Mm-hmm. Yes, Lawrence, when they planned the city of Lawrence, it was modeled after Lowell and Manchester, New Hampshire.
Oh, Manchester too?
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the mills are still there too.
Yes.
Some great restaurants in Manchester, let me tell you. I love it. No, I've always been fascinated by the falls. I remember when they used to put the flashboards
Yes. Mm-hmm.
up on top. And
Yes.
I used to look at those guys and say, me, you got to get Patsu figure. You're crazy. Yeah, I wouldn't want to do that job.
Right.
I wouldn't want to do that job.
Yeah.
So it's 11:20. So you know what we're going to do? We're going to take our first break now, because when I come back, we got a lot to discuss here, and I want to try and get into as much as possible. So, Louis, if you don't mind, let's see what our sponsors have to say, and we'll be right back. Stay with us.
Okay.
Ciao, this is Esther of You, Me, and Sicily. I want to talk to you about Tommy Amin and the great staff at Butcher Boy Market. Families, foodies, and home chefs come together at Butcher Boy to talk good food and create traditions. They offer the best in quality cuts of beef, pork, lamb, poultry, and restaurant-style steaks and chops. Produce? All of their produce is hand-selected to complement any meal or even to make it your main course. Their deli serves fresh roast beef, turkey, and beautiful imported Italian cold cuts, cheeses, and antipasto. And don't forget the Butcher Boy Bakery, featuring sweet delectables from all over the state, as well as their very own bakery. That's Butcher Boy, where the secret to a great steak is, of course, the steak. Located at 1077 Osgood Street in North Andover, Massachusetts, in the Butcher Boy Plaza. Ciao!
This is David from the Sicilian Corner. You know, Mike, Tom, and I love to go to Salisbury Beach, but we love different things and can never agree where to go. Tom likes the casual family-style dining with the great Italian cuisine, Capri's seaside Italian kitchen and pizzeria. Me? I love the elegant romantic vibe Sea Glass with the amazing view and terrific menu, with prices that make it the place you want to visit each and every week. Mike loves a drink in his hand and a cool ocean breeze right off the surf and the rhythms of a cooler reggae band. We all know Mike loves Bob Marley tunes at Surfside. Who doesn't love a great show? National acts, comedy, regional favorites in the beautiful and intimate Blue Ocean Concert Hall. Lucky for us, Atlantic Hospitality is the host of all of these great places, and they treat everyone like they are Mike Lomazzo. Best of all, we never have to choose. Park the car once and all this fun is right at your fingertips. You can have it all in the heart of Salisbury Beach. Find out all the ways you can have a great night at Salisbury Beach at northshorepavilion.com. And Mike, Tom, and I will see you there.
This is Tom Zappala. Located in the heart of downtown Haverhill, the Haverhill Beef Company is a full-service, old-fashioned butcher shop and meat market that continues to be a valued family tradition since 1952. Peter and Monica Carboni's Haverhill Beef offers individualized service from an outstanding selection of marinated sirloin tips, homemade sausage, marinated chicken, and thick, juicy Chairman Reserve steaks. Your family deserves the best, so call Peter at 978-374-4795 or visit their website at www.haverhillbeef.com.
When you dine at Ristorante Melisse in Amesbury, Massachusetts, you feel at home while enjoying an authentic Italian dining experience not to be forgotten. From the appetizer to dessert, you won't regret your choice. Bring your cravings and appetites. They promise you won't leave hungry or without leftovers for the next day. Takeout and catering are also available. Give them a call or visit them online for the menu, online ordering, and reservations. RistoranteMelisse.com. That's RistoranteMolise.com. Or call 978-388-4844. Ristorante Melisse, where you're treated like family.
Hi, this is Mike, and I would like to tell you about the Deborah Care Law Offices, a firm that is focused on estate planning, probate, trust administration, and elder law issues. You will feel comfortable discussing important issues concerning both you and your loved ones, as well as having the information you need to make an informed decision about your family's future. How do I know? Because I'm a client of Dan Deborah Care. If you want to have peace of mind knowing that your loved ones are protected, call Deborah Care Law Offices today. In Massachusetts, 978-686-4645. In New Hampshire, 603-894-4141. With a commitment to excellence, Colizzi Memorials is dedicated to helping families capture the spirit of their loved ones by building beautiful, lasting tributes that will endure the test of time. Trust Colizzi Memorials to build a personalized tribute that would reflect your loved one's life forever. That's Colizzi Memorials, 217 Merrimack Street, Methuen, Massachusetts. Telephone number 978-674-7035. 978-674-7035.
At Catadella Funeral Home, we reinvest in our business to provide your family with the best facilities. It begins with a beautifully landscaped exterior, parking for 250 vehicles, and a comfortable and inviting access to our renovated interior. Funerals can be costly, so you should review and compare plans to make sure you receive services that are fairly priced. I invite you to experience the Catadella difference in cost, facility, and service.
Catadella's honoring and celebrating the lives of the people we loved, providing exceptional care since 1929.
Italian artisan cuisine combines simple, fresh ingredients with time-honored preparation to create an incredible culinary experience. At Tuscan Kitchen, located in Salem's historic Depot District, talented chefs prepare everything in-house from scratch for all to see. Guests enjoy their meal literally in our kitchen as food is prepared right in front of you. Wood ovens burn from morning till night, roasting vegetables, baking bread, and firing delightful thin-crust pizzas. Prime steaks are seared on a wood grill. A rotisserie slowly roasts marinated whole chickens and lamb, while a pasta maker creates fresh fettuccine. More than just artisan cuisine, Tuscan Kitchen features the wine bar, live entertainment, weekly wine tastings, and elegant private dining and event space. Call 603-952-4875 or visit TuscanKitchen.com to make a reservation and learn more about the culinary adventure that awaits. In Italy, cooking is an art form. Tuscan Kitchen. Experience artisan Italian.
Orthopedics Northeast and Essex Orthopedics have joined forces as Mobility Bone and Joint Institute to bring improved access and outstanding medical care. While our name has changed, our dedication to exceptional care remains the same as it has for the past 30 years. Same location, 16 Pelham Road, Salem, New Hampshire.
This is Cindy.
And Mike Kunstler,
owners and operators of Four Oaks Country Club and Grazie Italian Restaurant in Drake, Massachusetts.
Grazie Italian Restaurant is the hidden gem of the Merrimack Valley.
Why is that?
We have an incredible chef, Oscar Figueroa.
In the words of local famous chef and restaurant owner Lydia Shire,
Oscar thrives on hard work.
He is capable and gifted.
No one makes better food. Scallops, seared to perfection.
House-made ravioli with farm-fresh local corn.
And buttery, tender, lazy man's lobster, just to name a few.
You have to come experience Grazie Italian Restaurant for yourself.
Grazie Italian Restaurant, located at Four Oaks Country Club, 80 Meadow Creek Drive in Drake, Massachusetts. Hope to see you soon.
And we are back, as they like to say. We got quite a few people writing in, just to name a few. Nancy DeMarco. Nancy, it's a pleasure to hear from you. Happy Thanksgiving to you. Roger Trudell, my main man, one of the biggest fans of the Sicilian Corner. Maybe when Richard is unavailable for the tours, you can fill in. Who, me? Really? I wish I knew more about it. We had quite a few people, and it's nice to hear from you. And, if you'd like. Like I said, we had from David Struffalino. There's a guy that works in Boston every day.
Oh.
And I don't know how the hell he puts up with that traffic. When I was at the Encore Tuesday, our room faced the Mystic River, which is the water side. So you're looking toward the city. And I'm looking at the traffic. There isn't an hour of the day that is not backed up.
Yep.
There used to be a sweet spot,
Yeah.
for an hour or two, 2 hours, 2.5. Forget it now. I mean, man, traffic. That would drive. The drive from Boston sometimes to get into, say, southern New Hampshire. I have friends it takes them 2 hours. Jesus, I know the money's good, but for God's sakes. I mean,
is it worth it? Well, I guess
this
so.
is,
You know,
this is it.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, our telephone number 978-659-0072. You have something you'd like to add? Please call in, say hi. Once again, 978-659-0072. All right, here we are. We're going back in time.
Okay. All right.
1912, baby. What's going on in the mills?
Well, funny you should ask, Mike. Lots of mayhem.
and a lot of it was the Polish ladies that led the charge, correct?
Yes.
Why don't you tell our listeners exactly how
Okay.
the stage was set here?
Okay. So here's what happened. The average work week back then was 56 hours. Okay. So the Massachusetts State Legislature, in response to complaints, concerns from the mill workers that they were working too many hours, passed a bill that shortened the average work week from 56 hours to 54 hours.
2 hours.
2 hours. Yahoo! Right? Okay.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So it went into effect January 1st, 1912.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, prior to this, the workers, knowing what was transpiring there under the Golden Dome, right? Okay, tried to approach the mill owners with their concerns, right? Namely, okay, if our hours are being cut back, what's going to happen to our pay now? Right? Okay, only natural that you would think of that. So, but the mill workers, the mill owners, we're not interested in listening to the workers there. Just basically, don't worry about it. Go back to work. All right. Time is money. All right. So, all right. What happens? January 1st, 1912. The law goes into effect in Massachusetts. The next payday now after the law went into effect was Thursday, January 11th, 1912. Okay. Now, back then, mill workers would get paid cash inside envelopes. Okay. So Thursday, January 11th, payday, and they open up their pay envelopes. Okay. And their worst fears came true now. Okay. Less pay, right? All right.
How much?
So it amounted to 33 cents less per week. Okay.
Because of the 2 hours.
Because of the 2 hours reduction. Okay. See, back then, the average weekly pay for a full-time mill worker was $8.76 a week.
Imagine.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So that reduction of 33 cents might seem insignificant to some people, but for what the total they were making back then, that was a pretty good chunk of the total. Okay. So when they saw the difference in pay, all right, in their native tongues, they began calling out shot pay, all out, all out. All right. Meaning
rebel rousers,
right?
I say.
Or
Rebel
riffing it
rousers.
out of here, right?
They're walking.
Right. They're walking, right? Okay. So so they pretty much knew what they wanted to do now, but they slept on it that night. Okay. And then Friday, January 12th, 1912, is when the strike actually formally began. And Mike knows this apparently. It was the Polish female weavers who were the first ones, and they were at the Everett Mill to begin walking off the job. Okay. Now, they did not just simply literally walk off the job. Okay. They were storming out of the mill.
How much damage did they do?
Quite a lot. Okay, you know the story, right? Sabotage. Okay,
yeah.
So while they were coming down, leaving the floors, coming down the stairwells, they grabbed any kind of
the shop,
anything sharp, right? Any kind of device they could find, and they were sabotaging the equipment as they were storming out of the mill.
Wow.
So that's the beginning of the story there. Yes.
I just want to back up just a little bit. Richard stated that the pay was shot by 33 cents. Back in 1912, a loaf of bread was 11 cents. So basically, there would be that 33 cents represented 3 loaves of bread that would be on the table. Hence, we got the name
Bread and Roses.
Hey, there
yes.
you go.
Yes. Okay.
They were quoted as saying, one of the spokeswomen, I want bread. And I want roses too. And that's how Bread and Roses. But there were other names that it went by.
Yeah, see, that's the thing too. Okay, all right. See, when the strike first occurred, it was known as the Great Textile Strike of 1912. Okay. Nowhere did you hear Bread and Roses really at the time. Literally, you didn't hear it. Okay. So, but they did want that 33-cent pay cut, like Mike was saying, amounted to 3 less loaves of bread on the dinner table, right?
Hard to believe.
And hard to believe, right? But that was a main staple of immigrant families back then, right? Bread, molasses, and beans, okay? And if they wanted to splurge and they had some extra money, oh my God, they would get some meat, okay? All right? But basically it was bread, pudding, molasses, and beans that formed the main part of their diet, meaning the food we consume every day, right, to stay alive. Okay.
How common were strikes at this point? Was there a model for the strike, or
no, and that's why the IWW had to be called in, right? Professional labor or strike organizers, Big Bill Haywood, Elizabeth Gurley Flynn, others, Ettore and Giovannitti, right? All the big guns were called in. Yeah, some Irish kids, right? To help guide the workers during their strike. Okay. So yeah, they wanted bread, and then so the women who played an important role in the strike, because this affected them the most, actually, not only were they looking for sustenance, okay, restoration of wages, they were also looking for dignity. They wanted to be recognized for their efforts, okay? So that's where we get the roses, okay? Because to some people, a rose symbolizes dignity. To some people, okay? So that's where the rose comes in, because women were also looking for dignity to be recognized, okay? Now, I have to say, this is one interpretation of it, okay? So it's the one I like. If you talk to other local historians, they might give you a different interpretation, okay? But this is the one that I like and that I tell people during the summer on my tours.
Richard, how unsafe was the working conditions in the textiles during this period?
Quite. See, it's important to realize that the leading up to the strike now in 1912, things were boiling. All right, things were simmering, percolating. Okay, so workers had long been subjected to unsafe working conditions, right? And low wages, okay? So this was percolating. So when the Massachusetts state legislature passed that law, right? Okay, this just like sent everybody over the edge there at that point, okay? The immigrant workers, all right? So
what percentage of these striking workers were women? And what is the age group? Because we tend to think of, working age of what it is nowadays, but that had a much wider definition back then.
Okay, yes, I don't know the exact number, to be honest with you, but women and children, and the law affected them the most. They
represent about 50% of the people working,
at least, right? At least, perhaps even a little more. Okay, the average age, I honestly don't know, but I'll tell you this: life expectancy, though, okay, was only
This is something.
yeah, okay. Back then, okay, life expectancy was 30s, even 20s, okay. But if we stretch it, 30s, okay. So
there are kids in this.
there were kids.
Yeah.
Camilla Tioli, for example, right? The famous story about Camilla Tioli. Her father paid the mill owner, all right, bribed him in order to get Camilla into the Washington mill there.
Is that how she got in there?
That's how she got in there. Yeah. Okay. And then I think a lot of people know the story about how she got scalped. She was out of work for 7 months. Okay. The mill paid her medical expenses.
That was it.
Right. That was it. They did not give her back or lost wages, So she testified before Congress after. All right. And that's what helped bring about her, and with the efforts of a lot of other people too, of course, right? A lot of people testified before Congress, Camilla Tioli, one of the more notable ones, but that's what helped bring about the labor reforms that eventually came about that made life safer and better for mill workers.
Inside the mills. Yeah.
You want to take Roger before the break? Or
I'm sorry?
You want to take Roger before the break? On the phone?
Well,
go ahead, Roger.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Hello.
Yes, good, Richard.
Yes.
Boy, I'll tell you, you can hear your enthusiasm in your voice.
Thank you.
And
you have to take one of my tours now next summer.
It is so nice to hear. The reason I'm calling, again, my grandfather immigrated to Lawrence from Canada, and he bought his first house in 1908. So he was there around the time of that.
Yeah, and he bought it for like $1,000.
Probably.
I don't know, but it was pretty run down at the time.
Yeah, okay, a fixer-upper.
But the reason I'm calling is I saw a program on PBS called History Detective. And the premise of the show is somebody comes up with some sort of artifact, and they ask the people, gee, I heard this was involved in, and in this case, it was the bread and roses.
Well. Yes.
And they investigated it, and I think it was some sort of, I want to say, billy club.
Oh, yes. Okay. Right. Yeah.
And supposedly they came up and said, yeah, it was probably used during the bread and roses insurrection. So to speak.
Yes, in all likelihood.
I believe the Essex Company has it.
Okay. Yes, and then that's where the Lawrence History Center is now located. So I think they actually have possession of it. I think.
I'm inclined to agree with you. I think I've seen it there.
Yeah.
So obviously you've heard of that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Before.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Again, and it's funny to be sitting in Salem, New Hampshire, watch stuff on PBS that's like right down the street.
Yeah.
And it's somebody gives a crap.
There you go.
All right.
Go.
We need more people like that.
There you go. Hey, Roger, I just want to say I want to wish you and the family a wonderful, wonderful Thanksgiving. Make sure enjoy. Say hi to everybody for me, and we'll next week we're going to do a repeat show so we can enjoy the holidays, and then we'll be back live the first of. We're doing our international show the first Friday in December. So we're looking forward to that. But thank you for giving us a call. All right. I guess he's gone.
Okay. All right.
Why don't we take a quick break?
Ciao, this is Esther of You, Me, and Sicily. I want to talk to you about Tommy Amin and the great staff at Butcher Boy Market. Families, foodies, and home chefs come together at Butcher Boy to talk good food and create traditions. They offer the best in quality cuts of beef, pork, lamb, poultry, and restaurant-style steaks and chops. Produce? All of their produce is hand-selected to complement any meal or even to make it your main course. Their deli serves fresh roast beef, turkey, and beautiful imported Italian cold cuts, cheeses, and antipasto. And don't forget the Butcher Boy Bakery, featuring sweet delectables from all over the state, as well as their very own bakery. That's Butcher Boy, where the secret to a great steak is, of course, the steak. Located at 1077 Osgood Street in North Andover, Massachusetts, in the Butcher Boy Plaza. Ciao.
This is David from the Sicilian Corner. You know, Mike, Tom, and I love to go to Salisbury Beach, but we love different things and can never agree where to go. Tom likes the casual family-style dining with the great Italian cuisine, Capri's seaside Italian kitchen and pizzeria. Me? I love the elegant romantic vibes Sea Glass with the amazing view and terrific menu with prices that make it the place you want to visit each and every week. Mike loves a drink in his hand and a cool ocean breeze right off the surf and the rhythms of a cooler reggae band. We all know Mike loves Bob Marley tunes at Surfside. Who doesn't love a great show? National acts, comedy, regional favorites in the beautiful and intimate Blue Ocean Concert Hall. Lucky for us, Atlantic Hospitality is the host of all of these great places, and they treat everyone like they are Mike Lomazzo. Best of all, we never have to choose. Park the car once and all this fun is right at your fingertips. You can have it all in the heart of Salisbury Beach. Find out all the ways you can have a great night at Salisbury Beach at northshorepavilion.com. And Mike, Tom, and I will see you there.
This is Tom Zappala. Located in the heart of downtown Haverhill, the Haverhill Beef Company is a full-service, old-fashioned butcher shop and meat market that continues to be a valued family tradition since 1952. Peter and Monica Carboni's Haverhill Beef offers individualized service from an outstanding selection of marinated sirloin tips, homemade sausage, marinated chicken, and thick, juicy Chairman Reserve steaks. Your family deserves the best, so call Peter at 978-374-4795 or visit their website at www.haverhillbeef.com.
When you dine at Ristorante Melisse in Amesbury, Massachusetts, you feel at home while enjoying an authentic Italian dining experience not to be forgotten. From the appetizer to dessert, you won't regret your choice. Bring your cravings and appetites. They promise you won't leave hungry or without leftovers for the next day. Takeout and catering are also available. Give them a call or visit them online for the menu, online ordering, and reservations. RistoranteMelisse.com. That's RistoranteMolise.com or call 978-388-4844. Ristorante Melisse, where you're treated like family.
Hi, this is Mike, and I would like to tell you about the Deborah Care Law Offices, a firm that is focused on estate planning, probate, trust administration, and elder law issues. You will feel comfortable discussing important issues concerning both you and your loved ones, as well as having the information you need to make an informed decision about your family's future. How do I know? Because I'm a client of Dan Deborah Care. If you want to have peace of mind knowing that your loved ones are protected, call Deborah Care Law Offices today. In Massachusetts, 978-686-4645. In New Hampshire, 603-894-4141. With a commitment to excellence, Colizzi Memorials is dedicated to helping families capture the spirit of their loved ones by building beautiful, lasting tributes that will endure the test of time. Trust Colizzi Memorials to build a personalized tribute that would reflect your loved one's life forever. That's Colizzi Memorials, 217 Merrimack Street, Methuen, Massachusetts. Telephone number 978-674-7035. 978-674-7035.
At Catadella Funeral Home, we reinvest in our business to provide your family with the best facilities. It begins with a beautifully landscaped exterior, parking for 250 vehicles, and a comfortable and inviting access to our renovated interior. Funerals can be costly, so you should review and compare plans to make sure you receive services that are fairly priced. I invite you to experience the Catadella difference in cost, facility, and service.
Catadella's honoring and celebrating the lives of the people we loved, providing exceptional care since 1929.
Italian artisan cuisine combines simple, fresh ingredients with time-honored preparation to create an incredible culinary experience. At Tuscan Kitchen, located in Salem's historic Depot District, talented chefs prepare everything in-house from scratch for all to see. Guests enjoy their meal literally in our kitchen as food is prepared right in front of you. Wood ovens burn from morning till night, roasting vegetables, baking bread, and firing delightful thin-crust pizzas. Prime steaks are seared on a wood grill grill. A rotisserie slowly roasts marinated whole chickens and lamb, while a pasta maker creates fresh fettuccine. More than just artisan cuisine, Tuscan Kitchen features the wine bar, live entertainment, weekly wine tastings, and elegant private dining and event space. Call 603-952-4875 or visit TuscanKitchen.com to make a reservation and learn more about the culinary adventure that awaits. In Italy, cooking is an art form. Tuscan Kitchen. Experience artisan Italian.
Orthopedics Northeast and Essex Orthopedics have joined forces as Mobility Bone and Joint Institute to bring improved access and outstanding medical care. While our name has changed, our dedication to exceptional care remains the same as it has for the past 30 years. Same location, 16 Pelham Road, Salem, New Hampshire.
This is Cindy,
And Mike Kunstler.
owners and operators of Four Oaks Country Club and Grazie Italian Restaurant in Drake, Massachusetts.
Grazie Italian Restaurant is the hidden gem of the Merrimack Valley.
Why is that?
We have an incredible chef, Oscar Figueroa.
In the words of local famous chef and restaurant owner Lydia Shire,
Oscar thrives on hard work.
he is capable and gifted.
No one makes better food. Scallops, seared to perfection.
House-made ravioli with farm-fresh local corn.
And buttery, tender, lazy man's lobster, just to name a few.
You have to come experience Grazie Italian Restaurant for yourself.
Grazie Italian Restaurant, located at Four Oaks Country Club, 80 Meadow Creek Drive in Drake, Massachusetts. Hope to see you soon.
Welcome back, everybody. Our guest in the studio, Professor Richard Padova. And you talk about somebody who knows about the history of the city of Lawrence, especially during the years of 1912 and what took place in these mills that we look at now, that one by one they're being converted over to luxury apartments, big high ceilings. It's amazing with it. And it's so nice to see them still standing after all these years. Massachusetts builds a highway, they build a bridge, and 55 years later, the bridge is rotting out and it's got to be taken down. Well, for damn sake, look at what the product is going in. Maybe the cement needs to be stronger. Maybe the metal needs to be thicker. I mean, there's no reason why the roads and the bridges are collapsing the way they're doing, getting in this age. Poet Robert Frost.
Yes.
Very proud to call himself a Laurentian. Went to Lawrence High. Actually, he was a valedictorian, and he met his wife Eleanor there, and she was the co-valedictorian,
Yes,
right?
right.
But the point to all of this, it's interesting.
Yeah.
You don't find information like this on Dateline.
No.
Only the Sicilian Corner. All right. Anyway, I wanted
Apparently
to say,
on History Detectives, you find it. I don't
around
know.
the late 1880s, 1890s, Robert went to work in the Everett Mill, Robert Frost.
Yes.
And a lot of people say that he wrote one of his poems there, and the name of the poem was called The Striker.
Who?
Am I right?
Yes, that kind of foretold what was to come.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, talk about circumstance. Holy cow. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. But the lone striker, I mean, what are the odds of something like that happening?
True.
Again, Lawrence, phenomenal place. To me,
Yes.
I've lived in New Hampshire for 40 years. People ask me, where are you from? I say Lawrence. And I mean it, because I was very proud to say that I was from Lawrence. And what our grandparents went to get here, and the process that was involved, and the hard work. If you didn't work, you didn't eat.
Right.
There was no such thing as assistance like we get today. And
that's right. There was no New Deal yet back then.
that's right. There wasn't. Yeah. Yeah.
So
well, again, I mean, to me, I think about my little Nana Messina, who worked in the mill, and you and I were talking prior to going on the air, and she got hit in the head. And you were telling me it could have been, what was it you were saying?
Okay, it was called a flying shuttle. The piece on the top of the machine,
flying shuttle.
Wow.
that collected the fabric. Sometimes because the machines would be banging and vibrating, those shuttles would just pop off the top of the machines and, like a projectile, go flying through the air in the mills and hit workers on the head, and some of them could have gotten injured very seriously.
And my little Nana Messina was one of them.
Oh yeah.
And it really messed her up, something awful. And she had to go back to work. Her head was all bandaged. I mean, it was either that or they starved, one or the other.
Yeah.
And she had 4 daughters, my mother being one of them. You know, it was crazy. And the way that some of these mill owners were so conniving. I mean, you look at Joshing Village and you look at those mansions that were there.
Yeah.
All of that came from the sweat of my Nana Messina, a lot of it.
Oh, I'm sure.
People like her that worked 54, 56 hours a week. And you know what they did, Louis? They turned around and they planted dynamite in different areas of the city, trying to make it look like it was the strikers that were trying to cause damage. And unfortunately, they had hired somebody. He was an undertaker.
John Breen.
Well, I wasn't going to say the name, but that's okay.
Well, all right. Okay. Sorry.
They supposedly found sticks of dynamite that was going to be exploded, but they also found some kind of a card or something that said the funeral home's name on it.
Yes, it was wrapped in a trade journal, that was sent to the Breen funeral home.
Embalming. It was on embalming.
With the mailing label there, the address label on it.
Yeah.
So they easily traced it back to the funeral home.
But I mean, that's how conniving. Quickly, we got about 5 minutes.
Yep.
Talk about what the mothers of and what they did with their children. And really changed the momentum.
Okay. Yes. So the turning point during the Bread and Roses strike is considered to be when mothers in Lawrence were trying to put their children on trains, to get them out of the city for the duration of the strike. Because there was so much mayhem going on, it was a very unsafe city. So parents were concerned. So homes of strike sympathizers were identified, and the mothers were trying to get their children on the train